Welcome to our channel. Finally, our motorhome left after a long repair and renovation. You can find a video about its restoration on our channel. Having loaded everything we had into the motorhome and trailer, we headed towards Winnipeg. We had planned to move from Regina to Ottawa, which is approximately 2,700 kilometers. Initially, we allocated 7 days for the trip and planned to stop in Toronto to see how and what was there. But that was not the case. After driving about 70 kilometers, our inner right rear tire burst. Before leaving, I checked all the wheels, making sure they were in good condition and properly inflated. We stopped on the side of the road, and as soon as I took out the tools, a local farmer named Chad drove up to us and offered his help. It was very pleasant, and I thank him very much for this. Trying to install the spare wheel, it turned out that the rim did not fit a little, so I drilled one hole for the guide pin and put the wheels in place. Chad also gave us an old wheel found along the road similar to ours. Later, Chad admitted that when he saw the package of Tide on the road, which we placed on the road as a signal that there was a car on the side of the road, he could not pass by. Thanks to him again. That day we drove to the small town of Verdun and stayed there overnight. Our plan was to drive to Brandon in the morning and look for a new wheel there. But unfortunately, we couldn't find a wheel of a suitable size and continued moving towards Winnipeg. Before reaching 30 kilometers to Winnipeg, our inner tire bursts again, but on the left side. We found a place not far from the road and again began to exchange the burst tire for an old donated one in the hope that it would fit and get to Winnipeg. Now the reasons for the bursting of wheels have become more obvious. In my opinion, this is an overload of the motorhome. The age of the tire was already 9 years and 2 explosions occurred in the hottest time, that is, overheating.
Все красивее и красивее.
We replaced the broken tire with this one. Left with no spare tires at all, we slowly drove to the Walmart parking lot in Winnipeg. On the way, we tried to find a working store or tire shop with such tires, but everything was closed for the next 2 days, as it was just Canada Day. After spending 2 days in the Walmart parking lot in the heat and thunderstorms at night, I went and bought 2 wheels and, arriving at the only working tire shop for large cars, we installed new wheels on the front axle. Now we had 2 spare tires again and we moved on. As soon as we crossed the border of the province of Ontario, there were immediately more trees and lakes. It was very pleasing to the eye. It was much more familiar and soulful for us. We stopped in Kenora, Ontario to refuel. The city seemed more European and beautiful to us. On this day it was no longer so hot and we controlled the temperature of the wheels. Hoping for the best, we moved along our route. Towards evening we stopped at the campground to spend the night in silence and with all communications. The next day we made it to Lake Superior, enjoying nature along the way. We stopped in the town of Thunder Bay. We didn't really like it, we moved on without stopping much, and towards evening we again stopped for the night in the campground near the town of Marathon on Lake Superior. We saw very beautiful and wild places. The ride was very comfortable. It was no longer as hot as in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Also on the way we came across pipes through which oil is pumped to America. The further path lay through the city of Sault Ste. Marie. We didn't look at the city much, it was our closest approach to the United States of America. How nice it is to spend the night in the forest on a cool night in silence, get up early in the morning and drive in a given direction. Closer to Ottawa we were greeted by rain, our plans to stop at Toronto and several other places on the way were disrupted, and we also did not fulfill our desire to get to Halifax and back this summer. We really wanted to stop, find new housing, find a new job and then continue our travels.